What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Hey, y'all. Y'all miss me. I miss y'all. I did. Okay, so listen. You guys know I was in Mississippi for a little while. I'm back home in Georgia. And don't I look refreshed? Don't I look just so much better? Still a little, but I feel so much better, you guys. I was exhausted. Like I was paper thin, puny, ragged, just from um, caretaking and then still trying to manage my channel and a bunch of other stuff that I was doing. And finally, I got some relief, I got some help, and I was able to come back home just to regroup and rebuild. And yeah, I've been crashed. I've been completely and totally crashed for like literally the last 4 days. When I first came back home, it was very difficult for me to sleep, and of course I had like humongous guilt issues about leaving my grandparents, and it was just a lot of reasons why I couldn't sleep. And so finally I was able to sleep, but then it was Christmas. And but I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas, a Merry Christmas. I did. It was so good to be home with my family and my siblings, and to be back in Georgia. I love Georgia. In case you guys don't know, I love, love, love Atlanta. I love my city, and I'm super excited to be back home. A lot of stuff had popped off while I was down regrouping, recouping, and I intend to talk about all of it. What we are specifically here to talk about right now in this moment is Love and Hip Hop New York. Now, you guys know I do not review Love and Hip Hop New York. I don't see the point in it because um, a lot of other people do it and do it well. So, you know, um, what I want to talk about more specifically is that pimp game, okay? You guys may have seen back last year when I attempted to review Love and Hip Hop New York. Um, and uh, I said it then, and so some of those things are going to be reiterated here in this video. That pimp game, you know what I'm saying? It's pimping, pimping, just like how the pimp game has really, really changed from running hoes on the street, running them on the corner, although that still does happen. We're talking about scaling up in that pimp game. And I am seeing it a lot more sort of bleeding out into contemporary and mainstream society. I see a lot of those pimpish connotations on shows like Empire, um, and um, a lot of the reality shows, Hollywood, um, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, um, even to some degree on some of the shows that we consider to be a little bit more upscale, like um, Housewives of Atlanta. And I wanted to talk about it because one of the things that I think is really, really important is keeping a real, real keen eye on what we're being fed. A lot of it is entertainment. I find it entertaining. Although I don't review it, I find it to be entertaining. It's amusing. It's good fodder. If you're a person that like to joke and joke around like I do, it's perfect for that because it's always something for you to joke and joke around on. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I reposted a joke that this dude was doing about that nasty ass bathtub that Cardi B was in on episode 7. But I think it's funny. I think it's good fodder. Okay. But I think in the midst of all the joking and kidding, we can definitely miss and overlook these looming connotations that speak to where we're moving as a people, where we're moving as a society. And if you're not up on it, like if you don't have your eyes trained towards it and your ears to hear it, you'll miss it. And this pimp game, I think, is just really, really real. Now, what I'm talking about more specifically is this whole thing with Mariah Lynn, DJ Self, and Cisco. You know, we see in last episode Cisco go and approach Mariah and um, sort of offer her a peace offering, an apology, which seems, semi sort of genuine. Not unlike you would see, let's say, uh, a male pimp go and find a young woman at a bus stop. You know what I'm saying? He sees she there, she a little frightened, she confused, she don't know what to do. He see her buy a bag of chips instead of, a combo meal, and he knows she ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? And he does this assessment, he's in for the kill, and always coming across as sort of charming and thoughtful and all of that. Well, so then we see in this episode where the conversation between Cisco when he talks to Richie D about what his intentions are, with Mariah Lynn. And I mean, Richie D just basically just drags this girl's name, reputation. Like, I mean, he was coming across a little bit like, okay, I care for you, man, and I care for self, and she's with self, and you need to talk to self, and woo 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 woo. But at the same time, he coming across a little jealous. Like, I tried to run that whole last year, it didn't work. What makes you think you can make it work? You know what I'm saying? And consequently, Richie D ends up going to talk to DJ Self. And the conversation that he and DJ Self have about Cisco and Mariah Lynn from there, to me, is just the pinnacle, the epitome of this whole pimp lifestyle. It's the same thing. If you go back and watch the documentary Pimps Up, Hoes Down, it's that same level of conversation. You know what I'm saying? She my money maker. You know what I'm saying? She gonna make money for me. How dare you come and try to take food out of my mouth and take my money? She one of my hoes on the strip working for me. You know what I'm saying? You come see me about my hoes. You come see me about my bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his conversation. Like, how dare you come and step on my turf? This my turf. I've already marked my turf. She belongs to me. And you don't even come to me with some type of payment for her, like some type of um gift in exchange for her or whatever. And even in his conversation in the confessional, it was never about Mariah Lynn being a talented woman, an asset to his label and his brand. She was, through the whole conversation, by Self, by Cisco, and by Richie D, talked about like property, okay? Like property. This shit is disgusting, in my opinion. It is disgusting, okay? Seriously. Um, anyway, so then we see Cisco at Mariah Lynn's um, showcase or whatever. And Mariah Lynn is a separate issue. Like, who she is and her shortcomings and downfalls are no different from anyone else. She out there trying to make it happen for herself, make it happen for her family within these very limited parameters that she knows. And there's no knocking her for that. However we may view it as educated or uneducated or professional or unprofessional or African Americans or non ethnic background, how we may view it, it's her right as a human to try to grind it out and make it in this world. So I'm not knocking her. I'm not putting her down. Um, it is what it is. I'm saying this her hustle, and she should be allowed to do it without having to feel like she's property. That's just my opinion. Whatever. So Cisco is there. Um, and he earlier on in episodes is gonna send, you know, Self is gonna send Cisco a message. Again, send somebody a message to let you know you interfering in on my turf by locking Cisco out of the record station. Like whatever. So later on in the showcase, in comes Self, and they have this conversation. The way they're talking, it's just between the two of them. You know what I'm saying? This the pimp game. You know the game. You know the pimp game. You know the lifestyle or whatever, whatever. You don't come in and try to run interference on my hoes. Those are my money makers. Now, unless you got 20, 30 grand, her potential worth through the life of her career, then, you know what I'm saying? Like that whole conversation was so pimpish to me. These aren't the exact words that they were saying, but you guys do know that that's one of the things that has to happen if a pimp doesn't want a certain girl, he might trade her off for another girl. They might trade out girls, or another pimp might have to give the girls that girl, a particular girl's pimp money. He might have to get her a quick little bit, or like let's say he might think that the girl's worth 5 grand, before he gotta rotate her out and move her to another city or whatever. So this is just the way they were talking about her was in this real monetary fashion. Like I was even gonna cut you in and just break you off something once, you know what I'm saying? I ran her through a couple of times and got a couple of grand off of her. I was gonna break you off something, and DJ Self was so offended. He was like, break me off something? Nigga, I found this hoe. You know what I'm saying? This my hoe. You don't break me off nothing for my hoe. Meanwhile, Mariah Lynn is definitely playing the role of prostitute, of hoe, a streetwalker. You don't talk to him like that. No, no, I don't. Guys, don't touch him. Don't put your hands on him. No, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ever seen that? Now he was just dogging her dirty last week. First of all, he trying to put you under a 5-year contract, and what? Second of all, like Cisco said, that's a part of his pimp game. You shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? He should be paying your rent. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be having to worry about your bills. That's what I do. That's why I get all your money. I take care of your bills, baby. I make sure you got nice clothes on your back. You eat every night. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why you on your back. It's the reason why you got to work these clubs until, you know what I'm saying, your feet bleed. Give me the money, and I'll make sure I pay for your studio time, your dancers. This was Cisco's pimp game. And so that was another infraction of the pimp game, was you trying to expose DJ Self for what he wasn't doing as a pimp. And that's what Cisco was really upset. I mean, Self was really upset about. He was upset because the pimp game. Don't come and try to mooch my hoe and um and cut in on my coin, and on top of all that, you trying to expose the game to this chick. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's why he's really offended. Then he wants to kick him out of the creep squad. Creep squad is just, it's, you know what I'm saying, it's the player's ball. Like it's the pimp convocation. It's the what that is. It's not this exclusive club. These dudes are meeting about how to run hoes. Okay. And these are African American males that's doing this joint. It's like it's the most ridiculous thing. And it's like I don't know. I just feel like sometimes we don't see it, or we don't acknowledge it, or something, that this is essentially pimping. What they're doing is essentially pimping. It might be on a different scale because maybe Mariah Lynn isn't working strip clubs or bachelor parties, or not that there's anything. I mean, I don't know what the lifestyle is with people who wear bachelor parties, but I know a lot of them do get paid to do other services too. But you know what I'm saying? This is essentially what's going on. And for them to come to blows over that, for dudes to come to blows over that, it's not just about TV, it's about money. And it's just something I noticed. I don't know if anybody else noticed it. I do um, um, watch a lot of reviews, and um, the reviews I have watched, now I haven't seen, it's a couple of people I haven't seen yet. Um, but I've watched quite a few reviews out there for this episode. I usually watch the episode, then I watch the reviews just to see what people's perspective are on things. And it's one of the few things I rarely ever hear mentioned is that this is essentially what they're talking about with this girl is essentially pimping. Now, I'm not saying Mariah Lynn is this innocent, wide-eyed girl from the Midwest who just, I mean, we know that's not true. But what we're just talking about is the main thread that's running through a lot of these shows of misogyny and sexism and just the pimpish behavior that has become the norm on a lot of these shows. And we're calling it entertainment, but really it's pimping, okay? Anyway, I love to know what you guys think. Uh, do you think that I'm right? Do you think I'm on to something? You think I'm wrong? You think I'm far off the mark? I'm okay with being wrong. I'm prepared to be wrong. Y'all already know that. Let's talk about it. Tell me what you think about it. Do you watch the show? Have you noticed um, this common thread of pimpish behavior? So obvious to me that it across the board there is this really really pimpish um, ownership property type mentality that we're seeing a lot of. You guys let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope that you guys had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Thank you so, so much for tuning in. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please also rate and comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. Until next time, honeybees, I'll holla. Yeah!